How's it going, everybody? Let me check volume real quick. Looks like it's good. Nope, it's horrible. All right, should sound better. We're dividing Matthew's last four since the last two columns are very short. We're just going to go 7, 7, 7, 6 verses to close out these last four columns of Matthew out of my dad's old King James Bible, and laid it on his own new tomb. So this was the man, Joseph, that was able, hopefully y'all watched yesterday's study. That was quite remarkable. I'm not even going to tell you. You just have to watch it. It's fascinating. So Joseph has laid him in a new tomb, which he had hewn out of a rock, and he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the sepulchre. Now, the next day that followed, the day of preparation, the chief priest and the Pharisees came together. So if it's the next day, now the next day that followed, the day of preparation, wouldn't that mean Jesus died on a Thursday? I mean, the next day that followed, the day of preparation, that's Friday, isn't it? Passover's on a Saturday. If Passover is Saturday, when is the day of preparation? The Sabbath, that was day 9, in which two festivals celebrated on the same day, and Friday, Nisan, day of preparation for them both. When did Jesus die? So that's actually in John. Moreover, this Passover fell on Saturday, thereby coinciding with the Sabbath, with the weekly Sabbath. That Sabbath day was an high day in which two festivals were celebrated on the same day. And Friday, Nisan 14, was the day of preparation for them both. This was the same day the lambs were being prepared. It tells you Jesus died on a Thursday. Jesus died on a Thursday. And now I'm not going to be dogmatic about this. Jesus died on a Thursday and not Friday. James Tabor blog. Later, Christian tradition put Jesus' last meal with his disciples on a Thursday evening and his crucifixion on a Friday. We now know that is one day off. Jesus' last meal was on a Wednesday night, and he was crucified on Thursday, the 14th of the Hebrew month Nisan. The Passover meal itself was eaten Thursday night at sundown. As the 15th of Nisan began, Jesus never ate that Passover meal. He had died at 3 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. Well, he ate the meal. So he was crucified on a Thursday. Last meal was Wednesday. Jesus crucified on a Thursday. He was dead for about 62 hours. It's a little more than 2.5 days. The case for the Thursday crucifixion. I mean, Passover was Saturday. The day of preparation was on a Friday, and Jesus died the day before it. So now the next day that followed was the day of preparation. I'll tell you what we'll do. Jesus died on a Thursday, and then we're going to key in Matthew 27:62 in the search. And just see if that won't give us Jesus died on a Thursday, Matthew 27:62. What does Matthew 20:62 mean? Oh, goodness gracious. Have been hastily wrapped in linen, shrouded with some spices, and laid out on a brand new Matthew for the current day, somewhat awkwardly as the day after the day of preparation. Matthew refers to the current day somewhat awkwardly as the day after the day of preparation. The day of preparation for the Sabbath was Friday. So now it is Saturday. Some Jewish priests and Pharisees have come to see Pilate once again as giving outrageous uproar. However, so that's not really about that. So Jesus died on a Thursday. Matthew, okay. Did Jesus die on a Thursday or Friday? And here it is. The Gospels all agree Jesus died on a Friday, a few hours before the Jewish Sabbath was to begin. And it says Matthew 27:62. Is the day of preparation the Passover? This here says Jesus is dead 4 days because of Matthew 27:62. Matthew 27. And maybe that's why then the Jonah says 3 days and 3 nights. The Bible explicitly states that in all four Gospels that Jesus was crucified on preparation day. It's not what it says the way I'm looking at it. So I don't know if I'm just having a brain fart or if I'm not understanding this properly. If we go back to 58, he asked for Jesus' body, and Joseph had taken the body and he wrapped it in clean linen cloth. He laid it in his own new tomb. So this is the day Jesus died. Jesus died. Earth quaked. Graves were opened. Dead were raised. There were the women. And then the evening came. And then came Joseph that evening. And he went to Pilate. He asked for the body. He wrapped the body. He laid it in its own tomb. The evening Jesus died. The next day that followed the day of Now, the next day that followed the day of preparation, the chief priest while he was yet alive, after 3 days, I will rise again. Now, the next day that followed the day of preparation the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate. It's not saying the next day after these things happened, is it? It's saying now the next day that followed the day of preparation. Day of preparation compared to the Sabbath. If Jesus was crucified on the day of preparation, why had he already eaten the Passover meal? All four Gospels state that Jesus was crucified on the day of preparation. And they're giving Matthew 27:62. So they're saying that Jesus died on the day of preparation. That's why they're saying he would not have eaten the Passover meal at Passover or something like that. I don't know. That's quite the study right there. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not, I don't know. I'm a little ambiguous about it. The chief priest. And they said, sir, remember that the deceiver said he would rise on the third day, and they're going to ask for a guard to be placed outside so his followers don't take the body. Command, therefore, that the sepulchre be made sure until the third day, lest the disciples come by night and steal him away, and say unto the people, he has risen from the dead. So the last error should be worse than the first. Pilate said unto them, ye have a watch, go your way, make it sure as ye can. So they went and made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch. All right, so this is the angel talking to Daniel. Then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come. So this is Daniel's lamentation, was heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to me. So you know this in Jesus. Jesus doesn't need any help. Came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days. And when he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground, and I became dumb. Now I think this is Jesus again. And behold, one like the similitude, so this all sounds like everything is different, right? So he's on the ground, and behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men touched me. Now, a son of man is not an angel. But he does call him Lord. So I'm not sure if this is Jesus or an angel. Well, hang on a second. That was dumb of me. Because even an angel is a son of God. They didn't come out of a woman's womb. So, okay, so I'm going to go back to saying this is in green because it's Jesus. And behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spake and said unto him that stood before me, O my Lord, By the visions, my sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. So it's going back to the vision that he saw from Jesus the first time. For how can the servant of this, my Lord, talk with this, my Lord? As for me, straightway there remained no strength in me, neither is there breath in me. Now it's going to switch to an angel. Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me. So these angels and Jesus are looking like human men. And he said, "Oh, man, greatly loved, fear not." So again, he's being told that he's loved, extra special, because as John was the one Jesus loved, as it is written in John, Daniel also tells you that he was loved, very special. Again, because they're both the end times writers, Old Testament, New Testament. And God loves his end times because you can see how those that went through the Great Tribulation seem to get extra praise. And these people that went through the Great Tribulation were only found sheep for a matter of seconds, minutes, hours, and a few days. That's it. But they're special because they were all part of God's climax and the final call for his church and the cleansing of his bride, the final cleansing of the bride. As Adam and Eve were the first members of the church. And he said, "Oh, man, greatly beloved, fear not. Peace be unto thee. Be strong. Yea, be strong." And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened. And he said, "Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me." He said, "Oh, man, greatly beloved, fear not. Peace be unto thee. Be strong, yea, be strong." And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, "Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me." So he's calling this angel Lord also. So I can't be sure that this is Jesus either, because he's also calling him Lord. Or he's saying, "Let Jesus speak, because you gave me strength." Let's peek ahead. And I think that was 19 that it was at. Yes. Then he said, "Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight the prince of Persia," which that was, of course, not Jesus. And I got it in blue as it's not Jesus. "And when I came forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come." Oh, so I don't know. It's very ambiguous. I do think the first one was Jesus, though, when I had it in green because of the description. Glad y'all are here. I'm sorry I got the brain fog and so tired. Love you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Ask questions anytime, please.